Welcome back, viewers. We are on chapter number 8, Cell Structure and Functions. We are covering this chapter part-wise, and in this video, I have covered its fourth part, which is about the basic structural and functional differences between an animal cell and the plant cell. This is the journal layout of our chapter. It is divisible basically into 6 parts. I have already uploaded videos about first 4 parts of this chapter. For detail, you can watch those videos on my channel BioHub. In this video, we are going to explore what the basic differences between plant and animal cell. These are the learning objectives of this video. First, the special features of plant and animal cell. Second, the basic differences between plant cell and animal cell. Third learning objective is that you're going to observe the basic components of plant cell in case of onion peel. And fourthly, you are also going to observe the basic components of an animal cell with the help of human cheek cell. So stay tuned and watch this video till the last. Are you ready, viewers? Okay, we are starting with our first objective, that is the special features of plant and animal cell. First, I am taking the plant cell. So, plant cell has number of cell organelles which are in common with animal cell, but in addition to that, it has cell wall, a protective covering around each and every cell. Plant cell has huge vacuole, one or two, but very huge vacuole, and they help in storage of extra material or waste material. And special cell organelle which is called plastids which are present only in plants, which is a special feature of plants. They're of different types. In your class, I'm introducing 3 terms. Chloroplast, you are already well aware of this term, that they are green color plastids are called chloroplast, and they give green color to the green parts of the plant. Second type of plastids are chromoplasts. They are non-green and they store colored pigment. They give color to flowers and fruits. Third type of plastids are leucoplasts. They are colorless plastids and they help in storage of food material. So, presence of plastids is a special feature of plant cells. Now coming to animal cell. Animal cell do have some special feature of their own which are not present in plant cell. So let's explore about that. Animal cell. This is the ultra structure of animal cell in which nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm and cell organelles are visible. What are the special features of animal cell? Viewers, animal cell. The cell membrane or plasma membrane of animal cell, it's very thin and it's elastic. Another special feature of animal cell is one special cell organelle, centrosome. Centrosomes, they are located near the nucleus. They regulate the cell division and these are found only in case of animals. So there's a special feature of animal cell. So this was about the special features of plant cell and animal cell. Basic rules of drawing biological diagram. Since your early classes, you are drawing diagrams. But in this video, I'm going to let you know what all you have to keep in mind when you have to draw a diagram. First thing, diagrams should always be drawn with pencil and with free hand. Labeling can be done with the help of scale, but drawing will always be with pencil and with free hand. Second thing which you have to keep in mind is that whenever you are drawing, you have to observe the diagram very carefully so that while drawing you can take care of the size and proportion of that part correctly. Third thing is while labeling, most of the labeling should be towards right hand side of the diagram and there should be no crisscross labeling. Fourth point, while labeling any part of the diagram, the arrow should always point towards the part which is to be labeled. And at the bottom of the diagram, you have to write that this is the diagram of animal cell, plant cell, or whatever you have drawn. So these are the basic tips which you have to keep in mind while drawing a biological diagram. You can color it depending upon the requirement. Sometimes we do use different color pens to highlight different parts of some specific diagram. But it again depends upon the type of diagram we are drawing. Like here, I have drawn the animal cell. Maximum of the labeling is towards right hand side. Second thing is I have used different colors just to depict different cell organelles and different parts of this animal cell. And at the bottom, I have written the animal cell. So this is how you can draw animal cell. Likewise, you can also draw the plant cell by keeping the basic characters of plant cell in mind while drawing. So this was about the basic rules which you have to follow when you have to draw biological diagrams. Now coming to our objective number 2, that is the basic differences between the plant and animal cell. First difference, plant cell. They are larger than animal cells. And animal cells, they are smaller than plant cell. Second difference, plant cell, it is surrounded by a cell wall in addition to cell membrane. Whereas animal cell only has cell membrane and there is no cell wall. Third point of difference is plant cells usually have one or two but very large vacuoles. On the other hand, vacuoles are either absent or very small in case of animal cells. Fourth point of difference is plant cells has different kind of plasters like green color plasters, non-green plasters, colorless plasters, whereas animal cell does not have plasters. Fifth point, plant cells does not have a centrosome, whereas animal cells have centrosome, and the function of centrosome is it helps in cell division in case of animal cells. So these are the 5 basic differences between the plant cell and animal cell. So with this we are through with the basic structural and functional differences between plant and animal cell. Now we are switching over to one very interesting segment of this video, and that is our activity time. Activity is to observe the basic components of a cell, and here we are going to know about the basic components of plant cell as well as animal cell. So first activity is to observe the basic components of a plant cell with the help of onion peel cells. So materials required is we need a compound microscope, we need onion, we need dropper, brush, scissors, forceps, slides, cover slips, and one die, safranin. Now coming to the steps. Steps, slice an onion and take out one of the thick leaves from inside as shown here. Second step is to use forceps to pull away the thin lining from the inner surface of the leaf. Third step, place it flat in a drop of water on a glass slide as shown here. Add a drop of methylene blue solution or safranin. In my case, I have used safranin solution. Place a cover slip on it. Children, this is the cover slip. We have to place it very gently with the help of a needle on that onion peel so that no air bubble can get trapped under the cover slip. And next step is to observe the slide under the microscope and draw what you see, and then we have to label its parts. So when you will observe this slide under the microscope at 40x magnification of compound microscope, you are going to observe these things. You are going to observe outer thick cell wall, nucleus will be somewhere in one corner, darkly stained body, cytoplasm will be visible, even vacuoles will be visible very faintly. So these are the basic components of plant cell. Now let's learn about the basic components of animal cell also. And for that we are taking the cheek cells. Aim is to observe animal cell, cheek cell under a compound microscope. So what we need for this? We need glycerin, methylene blue, dropper, toothpicks, filter paper, glass slide, water, it can be distilled water or normal tap water, needle, brushes, and one compound microscope. So these are the materials required. Now coming to the steps. First step is that we have to gently scrape the inner side of the cheek using a toothpick, which will collect some cheek cells. Second step is to place the cells on a glass slide that has water on it. Mix the water with the cheek cell using a needle and spread them. Third step, we have to add a few drops of methylene blue solution using a dropper. Then we have to place a cover slip very gently, and we have to use blotting paper to remove excess of the dye or that stain. Next step is we have to place this glass slide on the stage of compound microscope, and we have to view it in the same way as we have seen in case of onion peel cell. When you will observe cheek cell under compound microscope, your observation will be large number of flat to irregularly shaped cells, they will be seen. The cells, they do not have thick and prominent boundary, means they do not have cell wall. And you know, animal cells do not have cell wall. However, each cell has very thin outer covering, which is called cell membrane. It's visible in this picture also. Third observation will be a deeply stained nucleus is observed somewhere near the center, not exactly at the center, but somewhere near the center of each cell, and it is visible in all these cheek cells. No prominent vacuoles are observed in this cell, and you know, this is an animal cell, so animal cells either have very few, one or two, or they are absent. So in this case, vacuoles are not present. So on the basis of these observations, we can conclude that animal cells have very thin outer covering called cell membrane. Nucleus is present somewhere near the center, and there will be no cell wall and bigger vacuole-like structures. These are the actual pictures of onion peel cell and human cheek cell taken from the compound microscope. And here you can see that the differences between the animal cell and the plant cell, they are clearly visible in these two slides. I'm sure the basic structural and functional differences between the animal cell and plant cell are clear to my viewers now. Viewers, there are two more terms which are there in this chapter, and they are related to the basic categorization of cell. On the basis of basic organization of the cell, we can divide cells into two types. And these two types are eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Or to be more precise, eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells having well-organized nucleus with a nuclear membrane, are designated as eukaryotic cells. So यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स वो सेल्स हैं जिनका न्यूक्लियस बहुत ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है और उस न्यूक्लियस के अराउंड एक प्रॉपर न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन है. All those cells, they are called eukaryotic cells, और उन सेल्स से बने हुए ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर कॉल्ड यूकैरियोट्स, लाइक ह्यूमन बींग्स आर यूकैरियोट्स. प्लांट्स के सेल में आपने न्यूक्लियस को देखा, उसके अराउंड प्रॉपर न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन है. But we have certain organisms which are called prokaryotes. Their cell is prokaryotic cell. What are prokaryotic cells? Cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane are termed as prokaryotic cells. वो cells जिनमें nuclear material तो है, but it is not surrounded by any protective membrane or nuclear membrane. Those type of cells are called prokaryotic cells. और उन प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स से जो ऑर्गेनिज्म बना होगा, that is called prokaryote. So now we know that all organisms with eukaryotic cells, they are called eukaryotes, and eu means true and karyote means nucleus. Whereas on the other hand, all those organisms which are made up of prokaryotic cell, they are called prokaryotes. Pro means primitive and the karyon means nucleus. वो सेल जिसमें primitive टाइप का न्यूक्लियस है. primitive टाइप का न्यूक्लियस कैसा हुआ? जिसके अराउंड कोई मेम्ब्रेन नहीं है, वो न्यूक्लियर मटेरियल फ्रीली फ्लोटिंग इन द सेल है. They are called prokaryotes. Now coming to the examples of these two. Examples of eukaryotes are plant cells, animal cells, and fungal cells, whereas examples of prokaryotes are bacteria and blue-green algae. Viewers, now we are through with the basic differences between an animal cell and the plant cell. You have also learnt about prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So now I am going to give you an idea about the relative size of these cells and cell organelles. See, eukaryotic cell, size-wise, it is biggest, 100 micrometer. If we are talking about the nucleus, so it is 20 micrometer in size. Chloroplast, that is the green colored plastid, it's 5 micrometer in size. If we are talking about mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of energy, its size is just 2 micrometer. In this video, you also came to know about one term, prokaryotic cells. An example can be bacteria. So this bacterial cell, how small is this bacterial cell? It is somewhere similar to the size of mitochondrion. One more cell organelle which was just globular and very small, ribosomes. They are 250 nanometer in size, very small. And you also know about viruses. So viruses, they are also in nanometers. So this slide is giving you an idea about the relative size right from nanometers to micrometers. Now, let me share some facts related to cell with you. Cell size. Cells are measured in micrometers and 1 micrometer is equal to 1,000 of a millimeter. Second fact about cell is the study of cell is called cell biology, cellular biology or cytology. Third fact, which is very important from competitive point of view, is the longest cell in the human body are the nerve cells. They can be up to 4.5 feet or 1.37 meter long and run from the lower spinal cord to the big toe. Amazing facts related to cells. The largest animal cell is an egg cell of ostrich. It's 15 centimeter long, 13 centimeter wide, and weighs about 1.4 kg. With this, we are through with the content of this video and it's time to summarize. In this video, you came across special features of plant and animal cell. You also came to know about the basic structural and functional differences between the plant and animal cell. In our activity time, you also observed the basic components of plant cell, in onion peel cell, and basic features of human cheek cell. So now it's time to share a worksheet with you and I suggest you to go through these 3 questions. They will not only help you to prepare this part of the chapter for your annual or half-yearly examination, but they are very important from competitive point of view. So now with this, we are through with this chapter number 8. So I want you to share your opinion about the content of this chapter in the comment section. And next time, whenever you will tune into my channel BioHub, I'm going to upload introductory part of chapter 9, reproduction, and in that I'm going to cover reproduction and its basic types. This chapter also has a quite high weightage in competitive exams like NEET, so I want you to explore the introductory part of this chapter with me. So now it's time to wind up this video. I want to thank you all for supporting my channel and subscribing to it. If you are a new viewer, I welcome you and I want to suggest you to subscribe to my channel. It will help me to keep you updated regarding my subsequent videos and it will also help you to continue your journey with BioHub. In the end, I want to appeal all my viewers, please do subscribe to my channel. If you are liking the content of my channel, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Do share the link of my channel with your fellow friends. I'm confident that this will be of some help to them. So with this, I'm going to sign out. It's a bio-bye from your facilitator, Dr. Seema Sharma. But do stay tuned to BioHub and keep exploring about biology with me. Bio-bye.